My name's Katarzyna Nowak, and my ID number is 0220928, and this is my video portfolio for VETT 222 Clinical Pathology of the 2016 spring semester. Today we're going to demonstrate how to obtain blood and then prepare it for some serum, plasma, and then just our VTA tube here. So I have 3 tubes prepared, and then I have our needle and syringe. So I have our green top heparin tube that's going to obtain our plasma, our red top tube that's going to give us the serum, and then our EDTA tube. And then I also have our 5cc syringe with a 22 gauge needle. Just it's going to be a good amount of blood that we have to draw, but not a huge needle because he's a little bit smaller. So I'm going to have Liz here restrain him. Actually stretch him over the table here. He's got a lot of loose skin. And then I have our alcohol that I'm going to use just to help visualize the area. I'm going to be pressing in with my thumb in the thoracic inlet, and then going to feel for that vein which is running alongside this way here. Then when I go ahead and take off my needle or my cap, I want to make sure that I have the bevel facing me, and then go in at a 30-degree angle here. Just readjust. Once I get a flash, I want to start drawing back on the syringe. Making sure that I keep that needle steady. Okay, then I hold off here and I have Liz continue to press off there to make sure he doesn't get a hematoma. We want to do our tubes that prevent clotting first. So I'm going to be putting that into our green top heparin tube and then our EDTA tube. This one does call for about 2 mL at least to be in here, and it's got a little marker on the side, so I'm making sure that I have that filled all the way. And then the remnants I'm going to put into our red top. And then I do want to make sure that I just agitate both of these tubes, make sure that we don't have any clotting forming. And then the red top tube I'm going to set down to clot for the next 15-20 minutes. So once we've obtained our samples, I actually took our green top tube and I spun it down again just because I don't want to have it sit around and affect the glucose. But red top tube I did have sitting out, making sure that it's clotted it's already been about 20 minutes. So then what I'll do is I'll transfer the plasma into a tube, and then I'm also going to get the red top ready to spin. Let me just grab my applicator stick I lost somewhere. So what I'll do is I'm just going to make sure to just rim the sample just so it doesn't get stuck on the sides here. And then once I do that, I could test that out. And then I'll put that into our mini centrifuge here, a stat spin here. So I put that in so it's balanced. I put the lid on, and then I have it set for 2 minutes for 13,400 rotations per minute. I close and then I just press start, so that's just going to spin down. In the meantime, I will transfer our plasma here. So I have another tube that's got no additive in there, and then I'm going to transfer the plasma. Also just kind of taking a note, making sure that there's no hemolysis or lipemia that's occurred. And then I would just use a clear pipette to take that plasma and transfer it on. making sure that we're not getting any of like the packed red blood cells on the bottom. So I'll close that down here. Put that back on. And then I'll do the same thing for the serum here in just a second. So once that serum has spun down as well, we also want to take note of any hemolysis or lipemia that could be present. And then we also are just going to transfer the tube with another new clean pipette, or transfer the serum into our tube with a clean pipette. So same thing, making sure that we're not picking up any of the packed cells there at the bottom. Closing the tube. And we have serum as well. As I mentioned before, it's going to be very important that we assess our sample for any hemolysis or lipemia. If a sample, the serum or plasma is hemolyzed, it'll have this reddish tinge to it. If the sample is lipemic, then it has this milky appearance to it, and it can be even like light pink as well, and it'll have this almost like foam-like appearance to the top as well. Both of those will have a relevance when we're running our sample. For example, for a hemolyzed sample, what this means is that the red blood cells have ruptured, and this could be due to just an improper blood draw or forcing the tube or the blood through a needle into a tube, so then it causes them to lyse. This does have a relevance when we are running our sample because it can falsely affect the red blood cell count. It could decrease it. It could decrease our hematocrit, our PCV, as well as release hemoglobin into the serum or the plasma as well. For lipemia, this typically occurs if the patient has not been fasted. We typically recommend that the patient be fasted for about 12 hours prior to the blood draw. If the patient has been fasted, but the sample still comes back lipemic, then we're more likely to think that there's some sort of endocrine concern going on. It's likely that the patient could be diabetic or have pancreatitis. So if it's not certain as to if the patient ate, the recommendation could be to just redraw a sample. Say we got a sample in the morning and it was lipemic, we could always try again later in the day to see if that lipemia still persists, or try to figure out from the client as to when the patient did last eat. And then if we do happen to run a lipemic sample, that sample could come back with elevated